Sean McMullen was a famous calf roper who was in line for the world title. He was a four-time National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association tie-down rope champion. This man was also my uncle's best friend. They went hunting and fishing together all the time. When Sean would travel to a place close enough, my uncle always went with him. Sean meant a whole lot to my uncle, and he was like family. On August 17, 1996, Sean was driving on an Interstate 84 about 36 miles east from Portland, Oregon. He and his two friends were on their way to their next rodeo. They never expected a car driven by a drunk driver to come down the wrong way on the interstate and hit them head on. Sean's two friends lived, but he had broken his neck and did not make it. Sean McMullen was a 25-year-old man full of talent whose life was shortly and quickly ended. Imagine waking up in the morning and going about your day like normal and receiving a phone call saying that one of your loved ones has been killed in a car accident by a drunk driver. That is something no one should have to go through. I would like to talk to you about the negative effects of drunk driving and how drunk driving affects other people other than just that driver. It affects the people in the car, their family, and overall affects the drunk driver. My first point is how drunk driving affects all the people in the cars around you. Even if you don't get in a wreck, when people drink and drive, they don't think that they would get in a car wreck, much less kill somebody. They think that they are invincible. But on average, someone is killed by a drunk driver every 40 minutes in the United States. By driving drunk, you are putting innocent people's lives at stake. When you consume alcohol, it blocks some of the messages trying to get to the brain, therefore altering your perceptions, emotions, movement, vision, and hearing. When you're drunk, it is hard to walk and see straight. Adding a car to that equation is deadly. So while you're driving drunk, you might not realize you're going over the speed limit or that you're about to run a red light. You probably won't see other cars coming either. Innocent drivers' lives are cut short every day because of people's sheer carelessness and stupidity. My second point is about the family of the person that has been killed. Not only does a drunk driver's stupidity affect the injured or killed person that they have been hit, it highly affects their family as well. Families of these drunk driving victims have to face the fact that their loved one is not coming home, that their loved one was murdered by a drunk driver. Families have to go through losing a sister, a brother, or even a son or daughter. Families often go into depressions because they weren't there and could not help stop the accident. These families feel helpless because there was nothing that they could do. Other times, families generally feel angry because their loved one's life was unfairly taken away. They have to go to court and see the person who killed their loved one because he or she was too selfish or too lazy to get another ride or to not drink at all. Drunk drivers never stop to think about everyone else's lives they are affecting. How would you feel if your loved one's life was taken away? My third and last point is how drunk driving overall affects their own life. People driving drunk hardly ever die when they get into car wrecks. The reason for this is that alcohol is a depressant, and the more you drink, the more relaxed your body becomes. That is why when you get really drunk, you get really tired. As the body's relaxed, when it gets into a wreck, it doesn't tense up, and that protects the body completely. Can you picture waking up in the hospital with a bruise or two and being told that you murdered someone in a wreck? They have to live with the fact that they are a murderer, even if they couldn't control it or remember it. Not only that, but they have to face many consequences as well. They have to go to servicing court sermon, attend alcohol classes and therapy, and do things like community service. Also, the fines for drunk driving get extreme once you add in court and attorney fees, compound and tutoring fees, and the cost of drivers' education classes. Driving drunk once can have a lasting effect on you and your family's lives forever. Nothing good comes from drinking and driving. Having a good time drinking is not worth putting yourself in that situation. Whether it is 1 or 2 drinks, or way more, you should have plans for someone to pick you up in your car and drive you home. Even if leaving your car where it is for the night and coming back the next morning to pick it up is a good idea. It isn't worth getting into a wreck and changing the person you hit's life, their family's life, and overall your own life. The next time you go out and drink, think of the famous calf roper Sean McMullen, a man who had amazing potential, but his life got cut short, and think of the many consequences you will have to live with. Remember, one mistake can change many people's lives for forever.